let's move on to the CIA.
Yeah, why not?
Well, first, I don't know if you've seen this video, but this is this kind of like went nuts. People were sharing it and being like, "What the heck is this?" So this is this new video from the CIA about I don't even know what it's about.
refuse
Here.
to
Let's watch it.
I used to struggle with imposter syndrome, but at 36, I refuse to internalize misguided patriarchal ideas of what a woman can or should be.
Okay, whoa.
I am
whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Wait. I'm sorry. What? What? This is 2021, right?
Yeah.
We're in 2021, right?
Theoretically.
When has the ceiling been broken yet? The glass ceiling? Has it been shattered yet?
The firmament has not been busted now.
No, it hasn't. My goodness. What is going on? Holy crap. Pardon my, is that French? I don't even know if it. Anyway, just
Pardon my
continue.
Tartarian.
tired of feeling like I'm supposed to apologize for the space I occupy rather than intoxicate.
Who acts like that?
Free agents.
Who tells women they have to apologize for who they are, what they are? Like, where does that exist now? Granted, I'm not a woman, okay? So I'm sure it does exist in some places, but come on. My goodness. Mia, you are worth it. Yeah, of course you are. And so,
well, you gotta also like think about it from the perspective of women in the agency, because over the last 100 years, women in both the KGB and the CIA and most intelligence circles like MI5, they all have had to do horrible things.
Dude,
like,
these people are living in a reality that doesn't exist anymore.
Well,
they want to be oppressed so they can complain about it, and they're not. They're making up oppression. They're saying, I'm oppressed, woe is me. Where's a boot? I don't have a boot to like hold over my face. That's what it feels like. They're holding a boot and saying, I'm being oppressed by this boot that I'm holding. You know that meme of the kid holding a boot on their face? You see the boot and they're like, oh man, I'm oppressed. And then you see that they're actually holding their own boot over their face. That's what this feels like.
Right. Well, one of my mother's friends from the Peace Corps, Patricia McCardle, who is in the army and did a lot of interesting things in her life, wrote a book called Farishta, and it's all about kind of her.
What is the book called?
Farishta.
Farishta.
And it's about a woman in Afghanistan who's, I think she's American. She goes over there as a spy because they don't believe she can speak the language, and so she's constantly finding out all kinds of things from being a double agent because she's in the room with them and they just don't think anything of her. And so I mean the thing is, it's true that over the generations, like, women in the agency have had to have sex with people. Like, you've seen I Spy maybe from the 60s.
I haven't seen it. No.
Bill Cosby's like 60s agent show, pretty sweet.
Okay.
And like they're constantly women in James Bond, right?
It's funny you put women having to do dirty things in the same sentence as Bill Cosby's
amazing, right?
show.
Yeah.
About doing it's not amazing. It's a little dirty. I feel a little dirty right now.
Life is like that, but it is.
I guess you're right. You're right.
And that's the thing. Like, so people have had to do horrible things for the agency. I mean, and it's almost like tragic if you think about how many people have been co-opted into being intelligence officers because they were in the Boy Scouts, or something like that. And like, they end up making you do things that you regret, but it's for your country. And like, this is, I mean, it's not just, I'm saying any intelligence agency.
Yeah.
Think about the KGB, right? Like kids picked off the street. And earlier you were talking about how the government is state raising these children. What do you think a lot of them are going to actually be studying besides critical race theory? Is going to be, intelligence and government enforcement of, if they can speak two languages, they're already going to be of value to, the agency. So this is the future in a lot of ways.
What's this article you sent me here?
Which
the
one?
CIA had many double agents spy against them during the Cold War.
So this is a cool article for a couple reasons. One is it shows you a lot about what was going on the American side, but you have to look at it with a mirror at the Soviet Union, because simultaneously to this, you have to imagine by the 70s especially, you had, but the entire time, you had American loyal federal and Romanov loyalists in the Soviet Union that were raised in the Soviet Union, American spies raised there, and double agents.
Double agents.
Yeah. And so it's pretty cool because, like, when you look into Chernobyl, for instance, you start to find out about all of what the CIA was doing there, and like
what's this whole theory?
Well, I mean, the theory is that the Russians weren't just drunk, inept stooges.
Okay.
Basically, it's kind of like any other thing. It's like the theory is that the government did exactly what they did in 1982, for instance, in the Trans-Siberian pipeline explosion.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, nobody seems to read up on it, but
Okay.
it's pretty well established that Secretary General of the Air Force Thomas Miller, I believe, in 1982 blew up the Trans-Siberian pipeline. And he wrote an autobiographical book about
America blew up a Russian pipeline.
And they were saying the reason was
in 1982.
Yeah. And this is just one example of many of the things that they did.
Isn't that like during the Cold War? Like, wouldn't that have started a war if that actually was the way it was?
The thing is, starting a war is so dangerous, and by 1982 they knew it. In the 60s, things were a lot crazier. For instance, like Arkhipov was, I think Vladimir Arkhipov was in a nuclear submarine, and he was about to push the button because they'd went deep and they couldn't get in contact with the KGB, and they thought that they were going to be, taken because of Operation Jennifer, or I think they have a new name for it now, but Operation Jennifer was where they were trying to with reconnaissance get submarines from nuclear submarines from the Soviet Union, especially crashed ones.
Okay.
And so they were going and they were thinking, well, we can't be recovered, we have to blow this up, and it basically would have triggered the Cuban Missile Crisis, the nuclear situation.
Someone would have pressed the button.
And he didn't. And so we got really, really close, but Vladimir Arkhipov actually saved the world that day. And there's been a number of circumstances like that during the Cold War. But by the 70s and 80s, it was so obvious, and they were working towards trying to de-escalate the Cold War because they're like, we don't really need to be enemies. We could probably figure out a way to work this out. And the CIA was egging that on because they were then manipulating. And if you look into the John Birch Society, for instance, they have tons of paperwork on how many times we've given the KGB technology on purpose, right? And there was this article mentions this too. We started giving them defective technology and programs, so malware that we inserted into their guidance systems, and programs that were actually like viruses that they wrote for the 70s and the 60s.
All right, so I feel like if I had just let you run on talking about the CIA,
I get excited.
We would just be sitting here all night. I really want to hear about CIA cats.
Oh, okay.
Tell us the story about Acoustic Kitty.
Okay, well, really quickly. First off, Acoustic Kitty was an operation where they were implanting microphones into cats. And what they were doing is dropping off
straight up, like under their skin or something,
in their head, in their ear,
Wow. Oh, okay.
And they had lots. It's $20 million project, and they had lots and lots of cats. The only one that you hear about is the one that didn't go very well in Washington D.C. Actually,
yeah. There's a where is it?
He died. It was sad.
Hold on, Acoustic here. Wait, let me just find it.
But
here it is. The Soviet Union, 1967. In Operation Acoustic Kitty, CIA attempts to eavesdrop on men in a park outside the Soviet embassy in Washington with a $20 million cat. The cat is run over by a car en route to mission. Okay, that's very sad.
It's super sad. But
they claim it's a $20 million cat.
Yeah, they're saying it was a single cat. It's not a single cat. That's the thing.
Where's your proof on that?
You go look up Operation Acoustic Kitty
and
type in CIA.gov, and you can find papers on all of these things because the Freedom of Information Act is pretty cool. But essentially, they built this program up, and they were dropping off cats everywhere, including Pripyat. And so I think Valentina Shevchenko, who was the Ukrainian secretary woman who ran the country, she was being spied on for the same, with the same exact issues. So what's his name? Dvolyat, Anatoly Dvolyat, the guy who's claimed to have blown up Chernobyl, like he was being watched and manipulated and targeted the entire time. And I, for a long time, thought he was a double agent. But now,
are you a spy?
I'm a free agent.
Are you a spy?
No.
You're a free agent.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I mean, like, I'm an agent of change.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
I see you over there.
I mean,
you know an awful lot about this stuff.
Agency is a really good term. It's a verb to have agency.
Are you a free agent though?
Yeah. I mean,
are you?
I don't know actually. In a
are
weird
you
way.
Free right now?
That's a good question. I guess I'm not free. Interesting point.
Ooh, I'm sorry. Sore subject.
Freedom isn't free. Is the point of that.